early part of the year was tough, but there was business there. I think the market was looking for some signal as to what the future was going to be. The middle part of the year, I think, was starting to see what was possibly coming down the line, and there was a little bit of cautious optimism. And I think once we had the signal that rates weren't going to go any higher, I think some people came back into the market. It was purely a confidence thing. A lot of customers, in my view, are actually financing kitchens, certainly at the level that many of our members are operating at. They're financing it from savings. So when interest rates rise, it's actually a good thing, but they still feel that they need the confidence to step back into the market. So I felt that the back end of the year was more optimistic. But for us, 2023 was a good year. We saw some growth.
Didn't grow as much as we did in 2022, but it was still in the right direction. Retailers have seen footfall in their showrooms. So I was talking to one of our members who's picked up 12 leads since the beginning of the month. And he's converted, I think, 5 of those so far. I think we've seen that in quite a few locations.
Seems to be a good start. And I think some of this is tied in with availability of builders to start projects as well. That side of the business seems to have freed up a bit. I know you couldn't get a builder for love nor money a year, 18 months ago. Now that demand seems to have worked through the system. So, there's a lot of projects that are starting in January. It feels like the ship is a little bit steadier than it has been for the last 3 or 4 years.
And I think service is going to be really important. The challenge is persuading the customer to actually sign that contract. And it's not about cutting price, it's not always about giving a discount.
I look at what Wickes and to a certain extent Howdens are doing, and they are gradually creeping up the market and they're going for the bigger budgets. They are having some success, trying to nibble into the lower part of the kitchen specialist market. And what's happened with the cost of living crisis, I think, has polarized the marketplace. And we've seen the sort of the sub £15,000 kitchen market is suffering way more than the sort of the £20,000 and upward kitchen market. So I think we've got to be mindful of what can we do as retailers and as MHK to do things that those guys just can't do. It comes back to the relationships and the personal touch. Retailers are dealing with smaller amounts of customers, so we can afford to give them that extra attention. A customer walks in with £30,000 or £35,000 to spend on a kitchen, that is what they've got to spend. And the issue is that if they're spending 30, they probably want £35,000 worth of service or product for that. So we've been thinking about how we can add some extra value to that for retailers through, finding products that carry a better margin or are maybe of a similar specification or look to other products in the marketplace, but for a number of reasons may be priced more competitively. But always looking at all the aspects that fall to the kitchen purchase, because we want people that we work with to be able to source as much as they can through us. And there's no obligation for these guys to buy through us, so we have to make it as attractive and as easy as possible to do that, and as profitable as possible. Always looked at national companies that can serve the whole of the UK. If you take something like Solid Surfaces, that's a very regional business. So we took the decision that we wanted to grow that business, and to do that, we would have to build a network of smaller regional fabricators. It's one of the things that we're in the process of building with some early success. I would say cautious optimism. I think we've got an election which looks like it's going to be in the autumn. If we get some rate cuts, then I think the market will start to heat up.
It looks like we will see an interest rate fall at some point. The impact of election, who knows? I think it will be a reasonable year. Whether it's a hot tap or an oven or a kitchen, you need to have good, better, best and make sure that the display is generating income for you. I think that's a really important thing to do this year. As a business, head office have looked at 3 countries, one of which are us guys, and so we're investing in the UK market. We're sponsoring the Big B Awards because we see the market, that there's opportunities, installers wanting to open showrooms. I think we have the skill sets to help them do that. We're also looking to organise with a couple of our marketing people some training days for members on social media. I want to give people the basics. It's just so important, isn't it? KBB is a big spend. We want to grow the membership base, and we've had a really good start to the year on that front. So yeah, we've got quite ambitious plans for the next few years.